Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome into the channel. Welcome to your reading. This one is for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's gonna be your next blessing. I've done this for fire and earth so far. Now it's air. Next is water. I don't think y'all needed to know that full progression, but either ways, hope y'all are doing good, feeling safe, happy and healthy. We're gonna be looking at your next blessing, I said. So it's gonna be looking at you in your past. It's gonna be looking at you in your present. And then your next blessing. So like past, the situation you might have just come from. If you're thinking of the blessing, you'll probably think of something that's in contrast to that, you know. And then where you are currently, where you've gone to, and then the blessing part. Looking at that with the Michael Jackson, the Hermetic Tarot. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles at the bottom. Ooh. And then clarifying. I've been clarifying everybody with the wild unknown archetype, so I guess we'll keep that flow. I was feeling something else, but maybe not. Who knows? We'll see when we get there. You see, I was gonna nah. Yeah, we'll do this. I'll do the unknown archetype. Although maybe little lights here. I'm indecisive this morning. I just woke up, but I'll try to be less indecisive. Let's get started. Air signs. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's gonna be the first two, past and present, are gonna be general for all of y'all, and then the next blessing, each individual sign will get one for their next blessing, so you can see in particular. I thought that was fair. Either ways. Speaking of, we must be in air energy. I thought that was fair. Let's get started. The Hermetic Tarot. Can I get my mic closer? Maybe I'll just scoot. Alright. So, where have you guys been in your past? I didn't do any incense. I'm gonna pull a card. I'm gonna do some incense because do I even have any? I'll look for it. So you in your past, air signs, temperance. Damn, major arcana out the gate. Out the gate. Ooh, and you got the world, and their colors kind of match with the stickers. It's like an orangish, and then now we got like this cool tone yellow. It's like moving, probably making some moves, taking some shifts. But this yellow is a lot more like reserved, a lot more internal, more about feelings, you know. So processing feelings in the past, being patient. 14, maybe something about change again because the shift of the world card. But then also the change within temperance. Found it. Beautiful. Alright. Temperance, patience, I see, but I don't know what else I'm kind of seeing with that. I don't know why I'm seeing Scorpio on this card. This card's usually Pisces and Sagittarius. Is that the wheel? No, this one's usually Sag by itself. Temperance, I think. But I do see Capricorn, I think, and I see Scorpio. A lot of signs there, a lot of complexities. As in, like, the sign itself has balance, duality. So maybe something about balancing something. Where are you now? Where are you now? Justin Bieber. Why is that the first sign that comes out? I've said that phrase so many times. It might be a music day. Knight of Swords. Uh-oh. Air energy, for sure. Taking flight. With the star, I see healing. Something about different points. This could be about cycles, different points. A flower looks like also it's like blooming and like that more taking flight energy. So blooming and taking flight definitely, because those came together. And that horse has his head down. So if we think about temperance being Sag and a balance, I see the animal now more so at the bottom. Taming, balancing like an animal within you, you know what I mean? The rabbit, more primal part of you. And then seeing it with this, like the horse is more, I don't know, it's less. And you think with the Knight of Swords, the horse would be ready to run, but this one looks a lot more apprehensive. So it feels like blooming, taking flight, more wise for a knight. More so wise for a knight. And I think of a horse now, so like stable, something being stable. Learning to be stable. Maybe even in like uncontrollable air situations. You know what I mean? Like when the mind is in chaos, or when the mind is moving faster than you are. It's sort of like taming that, balancing that with something. With what? Is it about Knight of Wands? Maybe you're fire. Balancing that with, there's more Sag energy. So learning, listening to the wind. Now I'm thinking of oh, what's that really freak? I love that show. Shoot. It's not new because it came on years ago, but it feels new because timing has been strange. They had the people who listened to the wind, and it was like that was their power, and there was like the first episode type shit. Come on, so I'm not spoiling anything. It was so good. It had that main character Moira. If you know the show, you know the show. Crap, it was one of those it was probably Amazon Prime, and it was a book before. Man, I'm gonna feel so mad that I didn't. I'm gonna be yelling at myself while editing this. All right. The Wheel of Time. Thank you, Jesus. Check that show out. Might be interesting to watch, but I loved it, and I think there might be a season 2. I hope so. I've been waiting for it because they left us on a cliffhanger, and it looks like this dude is off going about to jump through a cliff to something, but he's listening to the wind. Something about that. If you watch that show, maybe even first episode, you might get a glimpse of what you're being asked to do from spirit. When they listen to the wind, it's so like they go off to a secure spot. They can listen all the time, but it's easier for them listening on their own in like a hermity space, and they're even supposed to like be sort of like celibate and alone and not have anything distract them in their way. So it's interesting. 'Tis interesting for their full power, you know. So Gemini, let's see what your blessing is. High Priestess. That's very cool. I feel like Gemini is one of those High Priestess signs, so it's just interesting. Maybe it's like coming from Temperance. Failed to mention. 1 second. Oy. Coming from Temperance. Maybe wanting to move, wanting to jump, but not being able to. High Priestess. For the blessing. It has to do with music, a deeper connection. The moon could be a relationship, but also coming with the blessing, it's like probably coming from a lot of alone time, or coming from a lot of emotional instability, coming from breaking things down a lot. So maybe like restructuring. So it's like more so like being like an empty, what's the word, empty shell. But I just think about it this way because like the High Priestess breaks things down in order to build them back up. So it's like reconstruction is your blessing, putting it back together, putting the pieces back together, getting feeling more at home with yourself. but coming from a dark period of like deconstruction. So like there's just pieces that are that keep feeling lost to you, possibly. But the blessing with that is beautiful because it's like everything comes in a sense back together if you put in the work for it. Also, but it's not just work. It's like listening work. It's inner work. It's not something you can physically do outside of you. It's probably more so like if the liars like music. It's like your inner structure, your connection with the divine. That's most important right now. Knight of Pentacles. Some more knights, which means that there is a maturation process. I don't see many kings and queens right now, which is okay. It's just this is probably more so like about that's the balance and that's the duality of the movement you make when you're like learning and probably like journeying and processing, right? But when you're like having to give it back out, when you're having to build it for yourself and like review what you learn, it's supposed to be more like an internal by yourself process, I feel. Boy. Drop something, sorry. Ooh, Gemini energy at the bottom. Alright. So, who's next? Oh yeah, Libra. I didn't mean to say it, so. Uh-oh. There's a king that just came out. It was King of Pentacles, which I feel is Earth for sure. Not just me, that's Earth. This is the King of Pentacles, but I also feel like it's usually pretty like air, like Libra to me for some reason. Not even Gemini or Aquarius, but Libra always feels very King of Pentacles. Okay. So Libra, what is your next blessing? The Hierophant. Look at you, taking more of that earth energy again. Dang, the High Priestess and the Hierophant are like almost the same thing, but not really. But I mean, the 2 and the 5 are pretty much like basically flipped and mirrored on itself. You see how that's a and that's a 5. It's really interesting. I loved going over the research on that, but flipped and mirrored. Maybe this is Libra with the Hierophant. Again, this feels like structure. Temperance over here is like working on something, balancing it out, putting the ingredients together. But the Hierophant, the High Priestess, is like almost testing it out, taking it for a test drive, in a sense. The Hierophant, that's Taurus. That's birth creation. Bringing your spirituality to real life. Maybe coming from not knowing what your spirituality is, or not coming from not knowing what you believe in, or knowing what you even care about in general, which is fair. There's so much out there with the Hierophant tells you. There's so much out there to believe in, which is why it's crazy for people to, try to decide what you believe in, because there's so much. And with the Hierophant, with the 5, it'll tell you it's a self, it's an individual thing. So maybe just being confused on that, maybe just being, not even confused, but like there's so many options, so many choices. So the Hierophant says, choose what you want, just as long as it aligns with you and who you are. If you can, usually advice with that is reflect inside, which is how like when you flip the 5 and you reflect it inside, it turns into the 2, the High Priestess. So you might be learning something from your fellow Gemini neighbors, but at the same time, they're more so on the internal, and you're more so trying to learn how to connect it to yourself. I feel like the blessing with that is being able to live it out better, and you're gonna be a lot more like hey, solid, a lot more solid. Like people will see you as a lot more like of a solid being in a sense, because not because you believe in something, but because you want or you choose or you know what it is that you believe in and you live by that, That's it's not about the specific of what you believe in. It's just the fact that you do. And I just believe in like like you build your structure, your home, your body, your relationships. It's like it's built around that. I don't know. It's a really cool blessing. Aquarius. A blessing. And there's Knight of Pentacles again. There's more Earth. It's interesting. A lot of different signs bleed into a lot of different energies. Like fire was bleeding into Earth's energy the other day, which was funny. And that was a lot of Earth. And there's a fire again, Ace of Wands. Knight of Pentacles for Aquarius. This feels like moving the vision forward. Oh, and even in the age of Aquarius, that feels definitely about right. Got the wand in the hand, that little Ace of Wands, that passion, that fire. I was just about to call y'all Aqua Aries. I don't know, people say it online a lot. But I mean, even still, like, you carry that fire, you still hold the water. There's a lot that you're holding on to. There's a lot that you're carrying as you journey. But even see, look at all these freaking knights. What's up with the knights? You're not at the queen or king stage, so it's not about receiving anything. It's not about doing or giving out. This is about you. And I bet you might like that. This is about you because you're more so journeying. You're learning. You're the structure of yourself. And even with this, like, Scorpio, it's like getting to the root of yourself, deconstructing, reconstructing, learning what works, learning what doesn't work, learning that I'm about to sneeze. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Knight of Pentacles. That is ooh, that's fire and it's earth. This is interesting. Yeah, the knights are all fire. So fire and air, fire and earth. Is that earth or is that water? What the fuck? I don't know. I know. There's a lot of wingspans. There's a lot of wingspans within these knights. So being protected 100% on the journey that you're in. But also, if the spirit is using their wings to protect you, that means they're not using their wings to make your path. So you're the one who's making the path. You know what I mean? They're not doing, like, the Temperance is here because they're helping you mix the things of life together. But with you, you're forging the path. It seems 100%. Although, what are you putting into the ground? Why is it so important that it's a knight? I think in the Knight of Pentacles, I remember the first thing with the Scorpio energy. I remember one of the first things I learned about the Knight of Pentacles was that they do very well with, like, they like the Rider Waite. So put this on Rider and Waite. Or, I think it's the same person. Put this on them. But they said that the Knight of Pentacles was a, like, good knight for, like, damsels in distress. So it was always like a very nurturing knight. It was always very helpful, could tend to others before it tended to itself. So think of, like, think of, like, Virgo energy. Think of, like, many earth energies that are very caring for others before they take care of themselves. That's what the Knight of Pentacles is. So maybe you come from a spot of doing that, caring for others, putting people together. And I remember this in a lot of readings, or it was like putting people together. So I don't know this, and look at the chains on the horse. It feels a lot more organized, a lot more, not chains, but like the tool. I mean, used to, like, keep the path directly where you're trying to go. Working hard. There's Leo and 2 of Virgo. So like, Leo performance. Leo is the sun. So there's sun. There's fire. You understand the root, the fire, the passion. You understand the drive, where you're going now. The organization, the ground, and then the water. So, like, finding the foundation and finding the nutrients to grow something. You're on your path. You're on the way. You're on your way there. You're on your way. I like that. There's the king. What's under that too? The 9 of Swords? Nah, we don't need that. The King of Swords has clear vision. And it's the King of Swords too, so that's pretty cool. clarification. So you got temperance in your past. It's a pretty cool blessing for y'all. It's just interesting, the High Priest and the Hierophant, very close energies. So temperance, the Lover, whoa, that's still Gemini energy. So temperance and the Lover, very interesting combination. If I put it together, temperance would be, and it's not the number, so I guess the Lover is 10, 15, 17. So something about healing, first off, like the star, Aquarius, it even still matches up together. And even like that 2, that 1, and that 1, that's a 11 technically. So it's Libra with that justice. I don't know. It just fits. Like it's very air. Look at the wingspan too. There's more wingspan. Same as in this card. All the wingspan. I don't know what it is with that, but like taking flight, air. It's acknowledging the air energy for sure. But like. If I take the original Lover card, which is a 6, and I take the Temperance, which is a 14, that's a 20. It means big decisions. It means it's like Judgment, which is still very Scorpio, because Judgment is Scorpio energy, so it's very death and rebirth. And Temperance is 14, which comes after the death, so this is about building back up. This is definitely about building back up, big choices, and rebuilding yourself. In the past, with the Lover too, it's like healing choices, like what choices would best benefit you, in a sense, not just you, of course, 100%. Like people around you are incorporated within that. The people that you love, that you care for, the ones that you love and care for just as much as you love and care for yourself. But if they don't fit into that Corey, if they don't fit into that Corey in the house, if they don't fit into that category, if you wouldn't protect them the same way you protect yourself, then it's not really about balancing. Then whatever goes in the pot to balance yourself out, you don't need to think about anything that you wouldn't protect the same way you would protect yourself. That's coming out really weird, but like family, loved ones, best friends, stuff like that. That's how you learn to balance and care for yourself. But strangers, those who don't have your best interests in mind, you need to worry about that. Don't need to add any of that to your pot. You just throw that to the wayside. And you're present in Knight of Swords. That was interesting, because it was the first night to come out. The Venom, hair of the dog. I always say that. I don't know why. Because I think that's just the bloody. What's it? The drink. Is it a Bloody Mary? But some are different drinks that you drink after like a hangover, but it's also like alcoholic, but it's supposed to like help, it's the venom, it's the antidote is within the snake that bit you, sort of thing. So whatever caused you pain, whatever hurt you, whatever maybe clipped your wings, even like that could like taking a big chunk out of one wing and now you can't fly. So whatever hurt you caused it hard to fly, caused it hard to take flight. You could be, with the Knight of Swords, you could be revisiting it. Not y'all on y'all Mercury retrograde stuff. Or whatever's in retrograde. Because whatever it is in retrograde, it's like, we may make a big deal out of Mercury and nothing else. Which is cool, but I mean, that's a human society thing. I think it's very important to focus on which, even if it's like Pluto in retrograde, like the tiniest planet in the back, like, it still has a major significance. Even like Pluto retrograde probably has one of the biggest significances, even though it's so far back. It's not about the space and all that. It's about the fact that they're all still planets and they all share energy with us. So I don't know. I say that to say, whatever you're revisiting, just to utilize it as like a tool to rethink, to grow. More listening, less doing, because that's probably gonna keep your wings safe as they're healing and regrowing. Help you take flight again. This horse feels a little discouraged, like I felt in the beginning. So maybe again, like whatever journey you took, it really bit you hard. So definitely But I mean, you took flight too. Like you gained. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how they're wearing those honorable. Like you still gained a lot from it. I just feel like the Knight of Swords isn't so used to having their wings clipped. This is very I don't know any other wing clip stories. I know there's a bunch, but it's feeling very Icarus. 100, like a ton. Too close to the sun type of energy. But this is the moon, so too close to, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to go too much into it. It just definitely feels like, but if it's the hair of the dog, it feels like maybe again you're revisiting it. Maybe not physically with the Knight of Swords because it's the air. So maybe it's mentally. It's not the Knight of Pentacles, which is what they have, which is what Aquarius has. It's not nothing physical. It's not the Knight of Wands, where you might be impulsively taking an action towards it. This is the air. So you're traveling through your mind, at least, revisiting the situation in your mind. And the antidote you're looking for, what you're looking to use to heal, is possibly within what you've been through. It's just about with temperance, it's about repackaging it for sure. Because it's like when they take the venom from an animal or whatever it is that is poisonous, they'll repackage it in a way to make it the antidote. It's all science, magic, and shit. But I don't know how to do that. But you don't have to really physically take venom and change it. Whatever hurts you, taking it and repackaging it, just the way the water bearer in Aquarius takes the emotions and puts it in the right place. Like, I always think about that example with the NASA thing when they were trying to, what was it? I don't know. They were trying to take data, anything from space, trying to take data from space, and it's just like you have to put it in the right place because it's not like, in order to understand the information, you know. That's it for that, because that one is a little bit harder to see. Yeah, even this moon looks a bit like a brain for some reason, but I see like the forest too. Forest for the trees. That number is 5063, so 9, completing a cycle. The Knight of Swords is trying to go and complete. You're trying to go and complete something, round something off, but like in your mind. And maybe even in your emotions with the moon. Maybe, yeah. It feels like wires that aren't like completely matching up. I don't know. Gemini, you have the High Priestess with your blessing. What is that about? What's that about? The nectar. That's almost the same as the venom, I feel sometimes. And this is more so about work, so hard work and effort. And look at how balanced that is, just like the High Priestess over here. Even in the colors, like it's not just black and white. It's like the colors here too, all around it. I like that, because like the venom, if you're going to get air energy, if you're going to get the antidote, this feels like the antidote. Truly and simply. But it isn't just the antidote. You reach for it, right? The nectar is like the bee. It's like the bee doesn't just pick up the honey and take it, or not the honey, doesn't just pick up the nectar and just take it somewhere. Like, right, it becomes honey. They don't just pick up the nectar and just drop it off on the ground. They're like, oh, I did all that work. That's it. They're utilizing it for their home, for their people, for their fellow bees, I guess. But they're utilizing it. They're not just dropping it somewhere. They're not just throwing it to the wayside. This isn't being thrown to the wayside. That other shit, that's other people's, that's being thrown. This is being utilized for nutrients, for growth, for health. That's cool. That's cool, Gemini. That number is also a 58. Is it? That's 55, 3. Yeah, 58. That's the number of transformation. The 5 and the 8, they're both about like self and effort. So the work you put into yourself, the consistency you put into yourself, and even into changing yourself if you need to, just adjusting. Not changing yourself for anybody else, but changing yourself for you. That's what 5 usually can be about. Because it's important and that's cool. I don't know. I'm losing words on that. The Hierophant for Libra. Whoops. Commitment. Could be relationship, because the 5 and the 2 are very relationship numbers too. Very interesting, because they're about like the self a lot. But the womb, look at how these colors freaking match up. What are air signs doing? What's my light doing? What the hell? Okay. What are air signs? You and Gemini and Libra are very close within their why did I almost say traverses, travels? I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Not your travels, but your journeys, basically. Like, you guys are looking very similar. This one is very internal, though. Interesting how the nectar for the High Priestess, it's very go out to the world, grab that nectar, but bring it back inside for the High Priestess, right? The Hierophant is like the womb. It's like go inside, find that pearl and bring it out to share. It's very opposite, but in the same. But it's like one and the same in a bit. Hannah Montana, anybody? It's definitely one and the same for sure. But it's just, like I said, you're flipped. You're a bit flipped. I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but it's like you guys are going through a bit of the same process. If you want to reach out to your fellow neighboring sign, you know, Gemini or Libra, because it feels very like the same lesson. Work hard to find the pearl within the self and share it with, except Gemini is sharing it with the self to rebuild the self, so it's a very internal process. You might have to go outside and do some network, do some social stuff for that. Be the social butterfly Gemini has to be, in a sense, but the important part is the blessing, being able to take it in and build yourself very beautifully, very strong. Hierophant is, and the womb is like, there's a peace, there's a connection within yourself, that there's color within you, there's a pearl, there's something that's been processed over time and like has grown so much within you that is dying to come out and like be shown and be connected to. You could be working to be the leader of a community as well, I see, or like just committed to something very, very deeply. This blessing you're getting is connecting you very deeply, and within that, it's gonna help you like process and create a lot. Like, it's like the 7 of Pentacles. It's like when you grow that and it grows into like a rock, the first 7, 8 times, and then finally you get a pearl. Now you know now Temperance knows what to do to make that pearl, and you're gonna continuously make. If not just this pearl, you're gonna learn how to make 2, 3, 4. It's like you're gonna learn how the process works, but you finally made what it is that you're looking for through whatever process this was, which feels like a breaking down of what you know or what you believe in order to build back something up in a very pure way, like this would be. I don't know. That's 10. That's 40. 46. This is the 10. This is the completion. If that was the 9, if that was the venom, then you have come to the 10, which is the new beginning. You found the new spark. It feels very fresh, very new. So nothing you really have to do. I almost said do. Nothing you have to really do so far. So much so far. And the Hierophant's a 5 too. That's interesting. So 5 and then a 10. So yeah, it feels like you've done your part in a sense. And now it's just about, with the womb, releasing, letting the universe nurture and bring this up. And then with this, it's just about staying connected to yourself. Finding something that you care about or you're passionate about, something you feel connected to, and building upon that. The way Taurus would. It's like, oh, I know what this is, so I'm gonna move on that. It's like the comfort within that, but it's also like the effort to push it to be something better. I don't know. Knight of Pentacles with Aquarius, Aqua. What you got? The prayer. And look at Aquarius standing out. And again, I understand. It's important for either one. important for everyone which card you get. But Aquarius is standing out a bit. Gemini and Libra with these orange and red and purples. Root, movement, faith. Like a lot of like end of the last journey with the purple, beginning of the new one with red and orange. I like. But the prayer is like encompassing a lot more color. It's like you're going through the journey. There's a green and there's the blue and there's the white. Feels very full circle. Feels very moving on. It's like I don't see much purple, so moving on to faith. Having gotten steady within what you're doing. Now this is moving on to like I have planted the seeds. I've gotten where I need to move, where I need to go in a sense. And now I have to let things grow from there. You know, and with the seed and faith, you can't stick. I mean, you could shove your head into the ground and try to open your eyes to see if the seed will grow, but we don't have much. Like even underneath the dirt, it's very dark, very feminine, very inner. You know, and that's not a process we have control over. We're not supposed to. What's up? I'll do it in a minute. Close the door, please. Prayer and the Knight of Pentacles. And look even how it has like those pieces. Like that feels very like a pentacle. And the Knight of Pentacles feels like the most to have. Like look at how the hand's coming from the ground. It's like your prayer is coming from somewhere. You might be in a very dark place. Or you could have come from a very dark place. Like the way like the seed is in there. You could be the seed. As well as you are the person and the animal. You're doing so much. Oh no, what's up? You're doing so much, you know. Oh, your hair looks good. Being clothed and see, I don't know, the prayer is cool. The prayer is like it's reaching from the ground. It's the growth. The fact that you have the faith is the seed and the growth all together. It's like it could have been very dark and it could have been very, I don't know. It just feels nice because now it's like you're reaching. Yeah, you giving that prayer is the exact proof of faith of the growth that you need to know that you've grown, you know? The card is a 65, so 11, adjustments, justice, doing right for yourself, doing right by yourself by faith and trusting in yourself. You know, what you want to grow, what you've put in, the seeds that you've put in. Those are seeing them just by looking at yourself, and as you move along, continuing to have faith in the process because you see that, you know, you're growing, you're moving. It's a hard energy to explain, but I hope this helps. A lot of faith, and like even like you might be pioneering the next cycles for everyone else, you know, not even just air signs, but just in general, with this being the age of Aquarius. So this is a very big lesson. That even matches with the offering at the bottom. One reaching out, one reaching. Like this is the connection with the divine. This is on the moon, the darker space. And this is you on the physical plane with your angelic protection and all this help around you. All they need is that faith of like a mustard seed, that tiny little finger of like sight of growth from you to show that you're a part of the journey and they're going to reach out as well. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. And the vision, didn't I say the Knight of Pentacles has a vision in mind? He's got something to, he or she or they, or anything else in between for sure. Got the vision in mind. What's that? That's a 50, that's a 55 with the 65 here. Interesting. I don't know. That's 10. That's another completion number, like of a completion and new beginning. So you got somewhere you're going. It's that one. You have that one little seed, and it's gonna grow something huge. All of you, not even just Aquarius, all of you guys. Look at all the moon action. I don't know. The moons with the crescents. It's just like not a lot of sight. Tiny bit of light. But you have that wisdom with the owls on both sides of you. You have angelic protection. You've got one seed and a path and a promise, you know, of light and of color. The thing is, I think, and I just saw the sword with air energy, you might be like, I need the clarity, I need the sight, I need to know, I need to know, I need my mind to be like, sure of it, which is fair and understandable. But I think the lesson you're dealing with is one that you're not as comfortable with. Maybe that's where all the earth energy is helping you out to give you that comfort and stability, but this is not of the mind. This is not like something where the mind is going to show you the clearest path. It's going to be you healing your mind and using your fire, your faith, your spirit, your passion, your vision, stuff like that to keep you moving. I hope this helps, air signs. This is a bit all over the place, but I mean, what can I expect from air energy? It's in the nature, but I don't mind it. It's okay. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, notifications, because I'm wacky upload schedule. If you've been here, you know that, but I'm trying to get better. Other than that, go eat, drink water, stay safe, all the beautiful things, you know. Thank you so much again for being here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.